Kia ora team, welcome back to another venture. So this time we're down in Canterbury, and due to a weather front we're heading up to Kaikoura. We haven't hunted in Kaikoura before, so a couple of hours drive. We'll go see the local hunting and fishing store, get some advice, and then push up into the hills for hopefully obs on for an evening hunt. So we arrived at our destination, so Okiwi Bay trek. Preferably we won't go too far up the trek, and just pretty much put in the OP just to try and look for a little critter, a little wee pest. So obviously great how people go and vandalise these, but you'll just come up the ridgeline here a little bit, maybe push up here, but cloud cover is pretty low, so we'll just see how we go. This looks really promising. One thing I need to do now is understand my left and right of arcs. So whilst in cell phone reception, we'll just make sure what's in game or in play and what's not in play. Last week we were on a deer at 715 metres, so had to be bloody careful in a new area to make sure we're hunting area or shooting game that's actually in the permitted area. Okay, so we just finished running into two hunters, father and son. They've seen 4, shot 1, and seen a few goats up here. So apparently we're about halfway through to where the good clearings are, so good buggers. Well done guys, if you're watching this, thank you much for the advice. Bloody nice, particularly for the first time being in here. Okay, so the clag appears to be lifting slightly, so we'll just take our time going here. Bloody hot work, sweating bucket loads, so we're just going to take our time, take a few more breaks, and see if we can reduce the amount of sweat coming out. Won't bother putting on camera, but the base of the clearing up there is an animal. Not too sure if it's a deer or goat, but we don't want to bother getting a long range camera out. I don't know the nature of the gullies here, so we're not going to shoot that and go across and smash through that. But no wind where we are, and the cloud base is slowly clearing, so we'll keep pushing up and see how far up we can get before we lose light. Right, so we finally arrive and the clag starts coming back down again. So look, that's the brakes. We just have to wait it out and make a decision later as to whether or not we stay tomorrow. Hopefully it's a better day, so we've come all this way, might as well wait it out. Camp out overnight, find a really good OP, and then yeah, just hopefully this lifts a little bit more. We've been glassing now for a couple of hours, and we've seen a couple of animals. Their range has been over 900 metres away, and that's the best guess I can get. I can't actually get a proper fix on them, so we're just going to sit up here and see if this clag clears, but at this stage it just keeps coming down lower. Pretty sure we should stay overnight, but it is debatable if the conditions will be any better tomorrow morning. Anyway, that's the breaks, so we'll stay here till last light and make a decision from there. The clag has pretty much set in at the moment, so it's just starting to get lower, and we're sitting in pea soup, so we're going to drop 50 metres, or 50 or 70 metres, and then possibly establish a base camp and get some kai. So seen a couple deer, a few goats, and that's what it is. So yeah, a bit of an early night tonight, and be up quite early in the morning, probably around about 4:30, 5 o'clock, ready for first light to reassess conditions. Gosh, this is stunning. Hopefully you can see the mountain tops just poking through. The clag just comes and goes and reveals terrain that is hidden for most of the day. So we've dropped down about 50 metres in elevation, and the clag is also dropping, but look, it is promising, so we'll definitely stay the night. And just because we haven't seen any more deer of late doesn't mean to say they're not there, so just patience. We're going to move around a little bit more, possibly lose a little bit more height, and find a campsite. So I've had a dramatic change of events, and all the clag's blown out. Looks like the day's clearing, or the evening's clearing, so we're going to push up for the top, hopefully before we lose light. There's a deer up in here somewhere. Just need to get probably up in that pinnacle there to be able to shoot it, but we need to get eyes on it first, which is always easier said than done. Okay team, so we made it right to the top, well pretty much to the top. It's been a few hours grinding up here. We've had the clag just clear, so we've made a push to the tops. We've seen quite a few goats and possibly 2, maybe 3 deer, so no shots taken at this stage. But what an incredible view up here at the top of the Kaikoura Ranges. We're about 25k north of Kaikoura at the moment, and there's old State Highway 1 down there. The trucks and vehicles go down the road. Morning team. So this morning when we woke up, we have had about 3 or 4 deer around us, but they're at quite big ranges. Just can't quite pick them up on the big camera at the moment, but this is absolutely stunning. So we're up at about 650 metres, and 650 metres, and yeah, just amazing terrain that we're in. So last night we just camped just at the ridgeline, and I think up in binos I've picked up a rear of a deer over here, but just walking out of view. So we had a couple of goats up in here sort of late yesterday, and as we're coming through on the back side of the hill here with a deer, but some fairly big ranges that we'll be shooting at. So have the deer over here presents at 600 metres. Yeah, it's just going to be a bit of a long range shot though, we'll see, but at least there's no wind at the moment. Hopefully that comes out alright, but a little bit to the right of that top of that log is a red deer. Its ass is facing us. It's at 1,050 yards. Can't tell you how much of that was captured before. It's like blah blah blah, battery dead. So all packed up. Yeah, the weather's just unsetting a bit with a bit of clag coming through. It does look like one it's to fine up, but strangely enough, appears like all the animals have gone to ground. So lots of activity on first light, but even the goats and the truckload of them here have gone to ground. So with not this place has a lot of helicopter hunting. Yeah, it's a bit strange, but look, we're just going to take our time going out. There's no rush. Probably take about 3 hours to get out, and then we've got about, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 hours back to Christchurch. It's a bit of a chance probably to dry the gears out before we fly back to Wellington tomorrow. So look, love this place, but some really big ranges. So we're seeing deer closest range 600 metres, and there were some animals even out to, I'm guessing here, to around about 2k. So yeah, terrain is huge. If you're into long range shooting, then obviously come up the trek here, come right up the top, some really good lookouts. We'll try and paste in probably some screenshots as to where we are. Some locals coming up on the old quad, the old dog, so we'll have a wee chat to them and see what they're up to. There was 3 young fellas with a few pig dogs, so they got a pig up here the other day, so nice friendly locals from the old South Islands. Yeah, pretty cool to have a bit of a chat. If you guys are watching this, mate, awesome having a chinwag, and hopefully you pick up a pig or 2 today. This morning when I was glassing back this way, so we've got the Pacific lookout, there's 2 deer right at the top, and I believe on the track. So we're up the Seaward Valley, and we're going to head down to Okiwi Bay where our vehicles. So it's about 8:30, and I've glassed all these faces. There's not a single animal on these. Now look, I get they're steep, but you know, this should generally have some animals on them. Obviously not used to this area, but yeah, I said earlier that it's almost like there's been some heli hunting done in here, or some extensive culls by Doc. Just literally no animals out and about feeding. There's lots of grass around, but you'd still expect to see some animals out in these faces. So we're about a third of the way out, and just on here, I don't know if you can see on the GoPro, but it's a dirty billy goat, or dirty goat. So I'm not going to break out the main camera for that, but yeah, tracks all over that slope. Just been glassing some of these other slopes here, and seeing no deer that pop out on those. Stunning terrain though, geez. Imagine shooting something down there, it's kind of like abseiling territory. So this will be the locals vehicle I saw just earlier with their pig dogs, and just finished passing 3 girls that live in Opuku, I think it was, so just a few minutes out of Kaikoura, so they're going up to the lookout today, so pretty cool. So we have around about, I don't know, 300-400 metres to run till we go down to the hairpin corner, and then down to the car park. So what an amazing place. The cloud's still set in a little bit, so hopefully those boys get to see some pigs. So if you're coming here to Okiwi Bay, look, it's a long range game, long range game, but look, there are animals here. Certainly I've found that potentially there's been a bit of hunting pressure, and yeah, the animals are pretty much starting to bed down or move into cover by sort of 7:30. So at the moment there's currently lots of feed around, as you can see from the footage, and it obviously means that animals don't need to be out in the open as much. There's obviously a lot more animals here than what I've seen, but a bit of a shout out to hunting and fishing. See, the boys there pointed me to the Clarence River, or here. So the Clarence River, it's probably a good 2 to 3 hour walk up, that's an estimate, and it has a number of river crossings to go and do. I'm not a fan of sitting in an OP or blind with wet feet, so opted to come up here instead. So look, many thanks boys, that's great advice to come up to here. Saw geez, how many, maybe 4 deer, got one on video, and that was 1,050 yards and about 960 metres. Whilst we've shot at that distance doing target shooting, I've opted not to take the shot. There's no wind, so I mean that's not the issue, but the issue is being able to get there and recover the deer. Being unfamiliar with the terrain, it's the right thing to do not to pull the trigger and leave that deer for another day. So just nice to get into an area that I normally drive past and never hunted before, even if it is just for an overnight hunt. So if you're liking what you see, like and subscribe. We'll be back out again hopefully into the car weekers, and probably as luck has it, hopefully one day I'll manage to catch up with BRB, and yeah, looking forward to hearing some Christmas carols from someone in particular. Wai ka kite anō.